in Korea, there is an organization that specializes in solving things that no one else dares to do. This organization operates under the name of a shipping company. But in fact, the people in the organization always secretly solve cases that the police don't even dare to investigate. Their working style is similar to the police, but they don't have harsh regulations. The members of the organization can use any means to achieve their goals. Even murder is no exception. Nam is a good agent who is highly regarded for his talent and intelligence here. He is the pride of the entire organization because he has never failed a mission. Nam and his girlfriend live very happily. In addition to their admirable career, everyone is jealous of their love. However, one day something happened that caused the two to separate. Nam suddenly disappeared, and his girlfriend has been searching for him. It seems that the organization knows something, but they don't want to reveal it. They did not know that Nam was somewhere else on his way to find out what had happened to him. At this time, in a slum, a well-dressed man appeared. That person did not remember who he was, but he remembered everything about this place. A beggar came to talk to the man to take the opportunity to ask for money, but did not receive much. Moreover, he had to sit and listen to the man talk about nonsense. The man said that he did not know who he was, while the tag around his neck told him the answer. Then he said that he felt like this body was not his. This scared the beggar. The beggar did not expect that in this place, a stranger would scare him with some ghost stories, but the beggar did not know that what the man said was true. The man said that he had just woken up after causing a car accident. But when he looked in the mirror, he saw that he had a different appearance. The police came to investigate, but could not collect any evidence. That man was none other than Nam. What confused him was that he had witnessed himself being hit by a car. Although Nam tried to remember, he had no memories of himself in his head. Others could only see the body of the person containing Nam. They could not know that this body was not really integrated with the soul. Based on the way outsiders addressed Nam, he could know what identity he had. However, things became more and more confusing when he did not have a specific body. While Nam had not yet gotten used to this strange body, when Nam woke up, he was startled to realize that his appearance had changed again. He couldn't understand what was happening to him. No one could help Nam at this time except himself. Unexpectedly, the beggar's words gave Nam the motivation to find out everything himself. This person was just a beggar, but he understood principles that not everyone could understand. Now Nam would rely on the remaining memories to start searching for clues, because the people in the organization at that time didn't know that Nam was in their boss's body. Everyone who saw him respectfully greeted him as if he were that person. When Nam looked in the mirror, he realized that he was indeed in the form of his superior. He took advantage of that to ask for some information about his lost memories. Although they found it strange, they couldn't help but answer because in their eyes, Nam was a superior. After that, Nam was taken to a place to meet another agent in the organization. However, the scene that Nam saw shocked him. He didn't expect them to dare to kill someone in broad daylight. Moreover, they were also creating a fake crime scene to make it look like the victim was doing something stupid. Nam saw that the situation was not good, so he immediately changed direction to another clue. Previously, Nam had been in a car accident of unknown cause. The car he was driving at that time was in a junkyard after the accident. Luckily, it didn't take Nam too long to find the clue. Nam found this girl very familiar. She had appeared in Nam's memory before, but he couldn't recognize who she was. Nam didn't know that the girl was the person he loved the most. The instinct told Nam to go to a church. When he entered,
나 찾는 거야?
she didn't say anything but attacked and threatened him. Meanwhile, she kept asking about Nam's whereabouts. Only then did he realize that he was in the form of a boss, and the person controlling him was the girl in the photo he was looking for. No matter how he explained, he couldn't calm the girl down. While she was about to shoot,
내가 그쪽을 아는 거야.
At this moment, someone arrived, so the girl took the opportunity to knock him down and run away. Once again, In-nam missed the opportunity to find out the cause of everything, but he already knew the girl's location and went to find her. It seemed like there was some kind of relationship between them that made the girl lose her composure and look for him. When In-nam entered the room, he felt something very familiar. It seemed like he had been here before, but he couldn't remember anything about it. Here, he found evidence of the man named In-nam that the girl was looking for. He also discovered that everyone he had ever met knew this man named In-nam because they worked at the same company. At this time, he couldn't remember that In-nam was himself. It was unclear what had happened between In-nam and the organization, but at this time, they were also looking for him. They knew about In-nam's close relationship with his girlfriend Jin-hee, so they went to her house. It just so happened that she appeared at home. He didn't know what their purpose was in coming here, but they definitely didn't have any good intentions. Sure enough, as soon as they arrived, when In-nam saw them bullying a girl, he could no longer hide. Jin-hee was being tortured by that guy. These guys were very cruel to her. At this moment, In-nam was awakened. The two of them got into the car together and escaped from the pursuit of the organization. Even Jin-hee didn't understand why he had changed so suddenly. What he had just done made her suspicious, but at this moment, she wasn't in the mood to worry about that. She was only concerned with finding In-nam. That's why, even though Jin-hee had just been saved by him, she didn't seem grateful. She even considered him an enemy. After Jin-hee left, he returned to find the people who had just attacked him to ask them what had happened. Only then did In-nam suddenly realize that he was in a different form, even though he tried to fight back. Once your life is threatened, you have to tell the truth. It turns out that there was another person in the car that In-nam had an accident with who used to be his colleague. In-nam's memories are becoming more and more chaotic as the information he finds becomes illogical. Because the police were looking for him, In-nam had no choice but to run away first. The only person who could help In-nam was the beggar. He didn't expect that just a few random words from him before could make In-nam think of many things. So In-nam came to find him again. But now, In-nam was in a different form. In-nam had discovered that every 12 hours he would switch bodies once. The person In-nam was currently in was a close colleague from his organization. That person was also wanted by his own organization. He was on the run everywhere. But now, because of In-nam, he has revealed himself. The beggar was scared when he heard the story. He couldn't believe his eyes because just yesterday, the person he was talking to was a completely different person. In-nam wanted to find the answer to his questions, so he had to find the dash cam on the crashed car. The beggar had stolen it and sold it to people who specialized in buying electronic devices. They were people who didn't like to talk. In-nam didn't have much time, so he made a mistake. He used the credit card to buy back the camera memory cards in the shop, which was discovered by the organization, and they sent agents. In-nam had to look through each one to find the memory card he needed. That took him a lot of time and gave the agents a chance to chase him. Just when In-nam found it, he also realized the danger was near. But when In-nam escaped, he saw that the beggar was in danger. They continuously tortured the person who had just been captured in the most brutal ways. Besides In-nam, the colleague he possessed was also wanted by the organization. It was because In-nam borrowed his body to wander around that he was in this situation. But they tortured the colleague without knowing that In-nam was also present. Because In-nam had spent 12 hours, he had entered the body of another agent he had faced before. He was witnessing with his own eyes the organization brutally torturing their members. And it was also because of In-nam that he was in this situation. situation. But In-nam had no way to get this person out of here because he did not know the relationship between the two. The beggar was scared and was sitting in a corner. In-nam had to think of a way to free the beggar because In-nam needed him to continue searching for everything. Before that, In-nam had put the memory card in the beggar's pocket for safety. Unexpectedly, he was also captured here. Luckily, In-nam was quick-witted and dragged him out with the excuse of killing him. In-nam did that to avoid the eyes of the people in the organization. The boss in the organization was really suspicious. When he saw that the person In-nam was possessing was strange, he asked a few questions to test. Luckily, In-nam was sober enough to handle his test. Thanks to that, In-nam was able to take the beggar away. During the body swap, In-nam revealed an abnormality. The person whose body he was possessing was sitting with another agent. They were following Jin-hee. In-nam tried to stop that. Luckily, he was not dead and reported to the organization that the other person had betrayed him, but they did not know that everything was caused by In-nam. Meanwhile, not only the organization, but Jin-hee also kept searching for In-nam. She was determined to find out why he disappeared. Jin-hee ignored the dangers that awaited her. She used her connections in the organization to find information about In-nam. Then she followed the clues to investigate. It seemed like there was something secret that someone was trying to hide. At the same time, In-nam also discovered what he had been wondering about for a long time. The dashcam of the crashed car only recorded intermittently because someone intentionally didn't want anyone to see it, but In-nam still recognized where they passed, thanks to which he found the organization's secret location. That was where the organization's members went to hide after carrying out missions. As soon as he arrived, In-nam found everything very familiar. It was as if he had been here before. It seemed like he knew where he had to go to find the answer. The scene before his eyes really shocked In-nam. He was seeing his own body lying on the hospital bed like a corpse. In-nam could see himself and even touch it. Perhaps only he could feel this feeling. But In-nam did not know that if he could find it here, others could do the same. Even if In-nam's colleague died, he would not betray In-nam. He chose death to keep In-nam safe. However, the remaining members of the organization also deduced that this was the place where members would go when they were in trouble. Coincidentally, Jin-hee was also there. Jin-hee did not know that the people who helped her find In-nam were taking advantage of her. They wanted to help Jin-hee simply because they wanted her to find and lead them to In-nam. They knew the relationship between the two, so they knew that In-nam would not tell his girlfriend to leave him alone and run away. But they did not expect that In-nam had regained all her memories and was looking for them to settle their grudges. In-nam had to show them that endangering Jin-hee was a mistake. In-nam did not hesitate to show up and confront the organization's agents to protect her girlfriend. Just a few days ago, they were colleagues fighting together, but now they were pointing guns at each other. Jin-hee did not understand what was going on, but she also fiercely fought back against those who wanted to harm her. But she herself shot the person who had just saved her life because she thought that person had attacked her. That was a mistake she should never have made. The people from the organization then revealed their true nature. They took Jin-hee away and had someone kill the person whose body blobbered In-nam was occupying. He was considered a traitor for attacking his teammates before and had to be eliminated. They created a fake scene where In-nam and another person drove themselves into the river. But when he looked at his watch, he realized that no matter what he did, he couldn't escape. The time for In-nam to switch to another body was coming, so he had to quickly find that person. The important thing was that the people In-nam had previously switched bodies with were all people he had come into contact with. Right next to In-nam at this moment was an agent of the organization who was still alive. He was the ideal choice. In-nam immediately understood the problem and found a way for the other person to escape. In-nam helped him escape before the time ran out. His old body will remain there as punishment for the crimes he committed. In-nam now understands everything, and he must return to the organization to settle the grudge with them. It turns out that In-nam's organization not only handles normal tasks, but also secretly conducts illegal operations behind the scenes. The organization secretly cooperates with drug trafficking organizations to earn more profits. It was In-nam's close colleague who discovered this, so he was hunted down and eliminated. In Nam was implicated because he was the closest person to that colleague. They wanted Nam to be the one to carry out the elimination mission, but he refused because there was no convincing evidence. This forced them to remove Nam from their organization. Because the organization knew that Nam was a good agent, they used Jin-hee to threaten him. Nam did not expect that he would be betrayed by his own colleague. To control Nam, they injected him with a certain amount of a drug that they found during a secret mission. That drug has the effect of making the dead feel what it is like to have their soul leave their body. It will cause the injected person to temporarily lose their memory, and after 12 hours, the drug will take effect again. Those were the symptoms that Nam experienced after being injected with the drug. But at that time, he still had enough courage to resist the drug. Because Jin-hee was in danger, Nam used the rest of his strength to fight back. However, at that time, Nam had switched bodies for the first time, so Jin-hee did not recognize him. That was why she shot him. That was the reason why Nam was injured and lost control while driving. Nam brought his own body and caused the accident. Everything is cleared up, and Nam needs to rescue Jin-hee, who is being held by the organization. At the same time, he also has to avenge his colleague. At this time, there is a conflict within the organization. A person in the organization is not in control of himself because of using drugs. He has long wanted to replace the leader, and while hallucinating, he has the motivation to do so. Jin-hee has been tortured to the point of near death by people in the organization. It is unclear what they intend to do to her, but they will no longer have that chance because Nam has arrived. They will see how excellent the agents they have trained are. Coincidentally, a business transaction is taking place at this time. Nam will solve everything at the same time. No matter how many agents the organization sends, they cannot stop Nam. Anything in his hand can become a murder weapon. Anyone who stands in his way has only one outcome, which is death. There is only one last guy who is high on drugs, but he has Jin-hee in his hand. It is because of the carelessness that Nam let this guy hurt him. It is also because Jin-hee is in danger that Nam raised his hands to surrender, but the other guy did not keep his word. However, after listening to Nam talk, he also figured out who the person in front of him was. They were the ones who turned Nam into what he is now, and now they have to suffer the consequences. Even though he knew the result, the other guy still didn't forgive Nam because he needed Nam to replace him in exchange for his innocence. Creating fake crime scenes was the profession that helped him become who he is today, but he no longer had the chance to do that. She used her last bit of strength to rescue the person who had just saved her, and she also recognized Nam in his current form thanks to their memories. Now she understood why the people before always tried to save her from danger. It turned out that they were all one person, and Nam had never left her. Currently, she didn't know when Nam would wake up, but Jin-hee always believed that he wouldn't leave her alone. Today's movie ends here. See you again in the next movie.